These are my MCC22 predictions. I will be predicting the teams from 10th to 1st and the top 5 individual players. I'm just kind of going to jump into it here. In 10th place, I have the Aqua Axolotls with H-Bomb, GHEEN, False Symmetry, and Good Times with Scar. Alright, we all know this team won't actually get 10th, and usually whatever team underperforms on the day gets 10th, but this team seems the weakest on paper. If this team doesn't want to get bottom half, they will have to get team games late in order to have any chance at a coin and H-Bomb's 6th win. This team will dominate Build Mart and Sands of Time, likely getting top 3 or even 1st in both. So this team really depends on team games late, as it's really their only strong point. In 9th place, I have the Green GECKOS with Sapnap, Michael McChill, Foolish Gamers, and Tina Kitten. Scott keeps trying to nerf Sapnap. Will it work this time? Who knows, but Foolish and Michael have a lot to prove this event. First off, Michael wins every 7 MCCs, with him winning MCC 1, 8, and 15, which means 22 would be next. Will he pull it off? It's kind of a long shot with this team, but it could happen. I have a feeling within a few events, Foolish will be a strong top 10 contender in the event, so his first placement will mean a lot when it comes to determining his place in the event. I don't foresee Tina being good at a lot. I'm going to keep it blunt, but I hope she proves me wrong. This team's strengths will lie in the PvP games, with Sapnap and Foolish being a potentially scary duo. In 8th place, I have the Yellow YAKS with JoJo Solos, Sylvie, G Nelly, and Blushy. This is the first all-female team in MCC, sometimes called the Golden Gals, or my personal favorite nickname, the Piss Princesses. While this team seems okay, I just feel like all the teams above it will perform better unless JoJo can net some sort of first individual. Sylvie has been rapidly improving this time, and if this team pops off, I can see a top 15 from her. This team is kind of an all-rounder, with JoJo being good at PvP and movement games, and G being good at team games. Blushy is the biggest wildcard on this team, as she plays 12th in Rising and 24th in All-Stars. Her chemistry with JoJo might come in handy, though, with the pair teaming up twice before. If Blushy makes top 10, this team will have massively exceeded my expectations, and they will have a shot at Dodgebolt. In 7th place, I have the Purple Pandas with Puns, Shovel, Cub Fan, and Gemini Tay. I see this being the biggest sleeper team since Cerulean or MCC14 Yellow. There's huge potential here. They just have to act on it and get a good game order. This is a really well-rounded team, with Puns being really consistent at PvP and movement games, with the rest of the team is incredibly solid at team games. This creates a team that has no clear strength or weakness, which can be a good or a bad thing. We've seen MCC13 Pink get 3rd because of their strengths being spread too thin, but we've also seen MCC6 Blue make Dodgebolt by getting between 2nd and 6th in every game. I'm also just super excited for this team in general, with Puns and the Hermits being a combo I've wanted for a long time. Overall, this seems like a middle-of-the-road team, but should not be counted out whatsoever. In 6th place, I have the Blue Bats with Tapple, Tubbo, Errett, and Snifferish. This team, like many Tapple teams, really hinges on him. I still genuinely believe that Tapple has potential for first individual, but he has have the exact right psychological mindset to do it. Any type of screw-up could send him spiraling. Tubbo, on the other hand, is pretty consistent, and I wouldn't be surprised if he made the top 10. Snifferish will have a lot to prove, getting top 30 in their first MCC. Will they do it again? Errett is also one of the best players you could have to round out a team, so there is definitely potential in this team. I just see the top 5 as stronger. In 5th place, I have the Orange Ocelots with Pizza Hut, Ryguy Rocky, Smallish Beans, and Spifey. This team is kind of scary. I see many predicting it will make Dodgebolt. This team really doesn't have a weak game, with Ryguy being good at PvP, Pete being good at movement, and Joel and Spifey being really good all-around players. If this team has a weakness, it will be in the PvP games, as I don't think Ryguy and Pete will be able to pick up for the other two's shortcomings. This MCC is really going to come down to game order, though. Even with Pete out of the top 10, I still see this team doing well. In 4th place, I have the Red Rabbits with Dream, George Not Found, Captain Puffy, and Awesome Dude. When I saw this team, I felt like this was the most generic team that could have ever been announced, with Dream and George being teamed with 2 other Dream SMP members. This team is really dominant at PvP and movement games, with Dream being Dream, George showing top 10 potential in the last 5 events, and Sam being good at PvP games as well. The bane of this team's existence, however, is Build Mart, with 3 of the 4 players on this team being colorblind. In fact, if Build Mart gets played in the second half at all, I see this team having no chance at Dodgebolt. The rest of the team games are really good for them, though, with Puffy being a good Sandkeeper, even though she doesn't do it often. I see this team excelling at Sands of Time. Honestly, I just want to see a Dream Redemption arc after his placement last MCC. I just want to see everyone pop off. In third place, I have the CYAN Coyotes with Ranboo, CPK, Wilbur Soot, and Wisp. Insert funny joke about Ranboo being third. This team has no weak player. They are all at least above average. That's what makes this team so scary. Everyone on Reddit is talking about a CPK leader arc for this team and how he's A+, when I really see it being like MCC18 CYAN. Everyone plays a part, and they all do just enough to get third place. CPK and Ranboo could make the top 10 if they get third, with one of them being in the top 5 as well. Not only is this team well-rounded in terms of players, but also in terms of games. This team doesn't have a weak game. Wisp is good at Sky Battle and Battle Box. Wilbur is good at Build Mart and Sands of Time. Ranboo is good at To Get to the Other Side and Hole in the Wall. And CPK is a good all-around strategist for any game in the field. This is a scary team, to say the least. In second place, I have the LLAMAS with Quig, Scott Smager, Solidarity Gaming, and Pearlescent Moon. This team is like Purple, but with stronger team game players. This is probably the scariest team for team games in the whole event. Scott is the best Build Mart player, in my opinion. Jimmy and Pearl keep improving, and I see this team coming first in Grid Runners. Quig is the most consistent MCC player. He knows the tactics and has the mechanical skill for every game in the field. Not only that, it's Quig's birthday, so he kind of has to follow the pattern of other S tiers before him and make Dodgebolt. This is a scary team, and I think any game order to get good, get it to Dodgebolt. In first place, I have the Pink Parrots with Purpled, Tommy Innit, Captain Sparkles, and the Orion Sound. First off, how is this allowed? This team is literally busted, and I don't see a way they don't make Dodgebolt. Purpled, according to the Reddit, is an up-and-coming S tier. I don't want to put him there after 2 events. He's solid A, on the verge of A+. He's got a lot to prove to me in this event. I could see this team being balanced if the 4th player was Connell or, God forbid, James Charles. But Ollie plays Minecraft. Ollie plays in MCC. Team games would be the weak point for this team, however. And if Build Mart is last, this team's placement is a huge question mark. But it is an incredibly dominant PvP and movement team, with Purple being the top to get to the other side player right now. And I would be scared facing it in any of those games. And now for the top 5 individual predictions. In first, I have Quig, the birthday boy in first place. I can't see the king of consistency not getting it on his birthday with a good team. He hasn't gotten first individual since MCC10, and he will absolutely deserve it. I see Purpled in second. I hope to God Purple doesn't get first, because then the Reddit would be in this terrible place of, is he S tier? I have him in second for this reason. I have Puns in third. After an underperformance in MCC21, Puns will be looking to reclaim his spot in the top 5. Similarly, Dream will be in fourth. Dream will also be looking to redeem himself after his MCC21 performance, getting 4th place. And I think CPK will also be in the top 5, and he can become a consistent top 5 player. So I have him 5th. Those are my MCC22 predictions. I know they won't be right, so please don't tell me in the comments. Goodbye.